I was doing Iron Man.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, that gets taken away. They had to spin, he was terrible on set and all of these things, and went through all this stuff. Stand up erect. There should be some kind of sanctions against that place until they make some type of change.
Terrence Howard has been throwing jabs towards the industry for years now, but his recent revelations have left his fans wondering just how much evil the industry can be. So what exactly did he say?
They had an agenda.
Yeah.
Because remember, at the same time, they were calling me a and all of those things. And she started with the blackmail. I paid her whatever money she wanted. She destroyed that. She destroyed my name.
Terrence Howard's role in Iron Man 1 initially brought him recognition among movie enthusiasts. This was partly due to the surprising news that he was paid more than Robert Downey Jr. in the film. However, Downey Jr.'s later success in the role eclipsed Howard's initial fame. Contract disputes resulted in Terrence Howard's fallout with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He did not return for the second Iron Man installment, causing him to be replaced by Don Cheadle in the role of James Rhodes. During his appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, Howard unveiled a trove of previously undisclosed behind-the-scenes details, shedding light on Robert Downey Jr.'s role in the situation. In the episode, Terrence Howard recounts a timeline of events. He recalls when Susan Downey, who also produced The Brave One, approached him about Robert Downey Jr.'s struggle to secure an audition for Iron Man due to restrictions by Marvel Studios. At that time, Howard was already cast as War Machine in Iron Man 1 and was filming The Brave One. Later, Downey Jr.'s success with Iron Man was a major breakthrough for both him and Marvel. However, this success came at a cost for Terrence Howard. His initial pay of $8 million allegedly dropped to $1 million for the sequel. He said, "I was doing Iron Man, out of nowhere. That gets taken away. We did a 3-picture deal with Marvel, a 3-picture deal, $4 million for the first one, $7.5 million to $8 million for the second one, and $12 million for the third. We signed it. They came back to me that week after my mother died." Howard further stated that his agent received a disrespectful phone call. Marvel said, "Yeah, we want Terrence back, but we want to come back for $1 million instead of the $8 million we agreed to." Howard's agent Charles King responded with "F you" and hung up the phone. Further, Terrence Howard recounted, "I'm calling Robert Downey Jr. I called him 27 times and I'm like, leave a message. I'm calling his assistant. I'm like, I need the help I gave you." However, Robert Downey Jr. has never publicly responded to these claims right now. This isn't the first time Howard has spoken about Downey Jr. publicly. In the past, he's also alleged that Downey Jr. owes him around $100 million. During the interview, Howard also recounted being wrongfully labeled as a wife beater and the immense toll these accusations took on him. He revealed that the woman behind these claims had fabricated evidence, including self-inflicted injuries depicted in photos not taken at a police station or hospital. Howard explained that this woman had been blackmailing him for years, using personal recordings he had made over a significant period. "When we met, I was studying to be a Jehovah's Witness, trying to live a life of celibacy and spiritual growth," Howard told Rogan. He shared that he had a habit of recording his interactions with people, inspired by the likes of Louis Armstrong and Marlon Brando. These recordings range from mundane conversations to intimate moments, which he believed were a safeguard against potential misunderstandings or false accusations. Howard's trust was shattered when the woman, whom he had brought into his home in Philadelphia, took advantage of his openness. "I had this tape of my mother from the last 2 weeks before she died, which was on a dictaphone," Howard recounted. The woman offered to transfer these recordings to a computer, seemingly as a gesture of goodwill. However, she instead downloaded all of Howard's personal recordings from the past 15 years onto her computer. 2 hours later, I come upstairs and all of my dictaphones are gone. She said she downloaded everything but could delete them if I wanted, Howard explained. Initially, he believed her, but months later, when he attempted to end their relationship, she revealed she had kept all the recordings. This revelation marked the beginning of a prolonged period of blackmail. The most painful aspect of this betrayal for Howard was losing the recording of his mother's voice. "She started with the blackmail, and all I really wanted back was my mother's tape where she told me, 'I know you're going to be okay, Terry.' Despite paying whatever money was demanded, Howard never recovered the cherished recording. 'She destroyed that. She destroyed my name,' he lamented." Howard described this experience as a death blow, but noted that it ultimately led him to a path of spiritual and personal redemption. "When I had nothing, that greater being started showing up again," he said, reflecting on how these hardships brought him back to his faith and a deeper understanding of himself. In any case, Howard has been called out for being toxic in his relationships and making some pretty controversial remarks about women. His history with DV first hit the headlines in 2001 when he was arrested for assaulting his ex-wife, Lori. Court documents reveal that Terrence broke down Lori's front door and hit her twice after a heated argument over the phone. But his violent behavior didn't stop there. When he tied the knot again in 2010 with Michelle Gent, things got messy real quick. Just a year into their marriage, Michelle accused Terrence of DV and filed a restraining order against him. Terrence denied the allegations, despite Michelle showing up to court with a black eye. During a 2015 cover story for Rolling Stone, Terrence addressed the accusations made by both Lori and Michelle. Regarding Lori, he admitted, "She was talking to me real strong, and I lost my mind and slapped her in front of the kids." As for Michelle, he claimed, "She was trying to mace me, and you can't see anything, so all you can do is try to beat somebody away. And I think that something caught her, but I wasn't trying to hit her." Despite Terrence's troubling past, some still take him seriously because of his acting chops. Back in the early 2000s, he was on track to be a top leading man, especially after winning an Oscar for Crash. Then, in 2008, he rocked up in Iron Man as Rhodey and was raking in big bucks, even though he had other gigs going on. But in 2010, Don Cheadle took over as Rhodey in the sequel. Rumor has it Terrence was offered a lot less money for Iron Man 2, but we don't know for sure if he turned it down or if Marvel just moved on without him. Entertainment Weekly spilled some tea back then, suggesting Terrence might have been difficult to work with on set. But Terrence hit back, saying he was unfairly labeled as the angry black man, especially after he started calling out Hollywood's supposed agenda to feminize black men. This whole idea of Hollywood trying to make black men seem more feminine isn't new. Lots of black comedians and actors have talked about it before. Take Eddie Griffin, for example. He's one of the original voices speaking out against Hollywood's habit of making black actors and comedians wear dresses in movies. Eddie spilled the beans about this back in 1999 in his comedy Foolish, where he not only starred but also wrote the whole script. In Foolish, Eddie plays the role of Miles Foolish Ways, a comedian trying to make it big in Hollywood. And here's the thing, there's this scene that everyone remembers, where the big shots at the studio try to convince Foolish to wear a dress for a role by saying that all the top stars have done it.
Y'all want me to wear a dress?
Foolish, this isn't a throwaway role. You'll be carrying the emotional energy of the movie.
All we're asking you to do is to take the script home, read it, and make a decision. There's a lot of money involved.
We're talking a major motion picture here, Foolish.
Another comedian who has spoken on Hollywood's agenda to emasculate black male actors is Dave Chappelle. In 2006, Chappelle had an interview with Oprah where he tore into black male comics who cross-dress. "I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, but certain dots, like when I see they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I am connecting the dots and I'm like, why these brothers got to wear a dress?" he said. Chappelle went on to describe an incident in which, while working on a Martin Lawrence movie, he was told by the writer to put on a dress and portray a female escort. After refusing, he was pressured by the director and producers, but was let off the hook. "I am funnier than a dress. I don't need no dress to be funny," Chappelle said, adding later, "All the comics I've seen, they put us in these dresses." It's hard to miss Dave Chappelle's observation. These days, it's more common to see a black man wearing a dress in movies than a white man. Apart from Tyler Perry, who has already tackled cross-dressing in Medea, many black comedians have taken on roles involving dresses in films or TV shows over the past decades. Sean and Marlon Wayans stand out with their iconic portrayal in White Chicks, where they not only wore dresses but also tackled white characters. Then there's Martin Lawrence, known for his hilarious performance in the Big Mama's House movies, where he posed as a chubby, elderly woman. The success of these films, grossing $117 million domestically for the first and $65 million for the second, speaks volumes. And let's not forget Lawrence's earlier work on the TV show Martin, where he effortlessly portrayed a range of male and female characters, including the unforgettable Shanae. Eddie Murphy also left his mark, taking on 8 roles, including 2 female ones, in the Nutty Professor films. Another black actor who has fallen prey to this emasculation happening in the industry is Kevin Hart. When Hart was asked about this issue, he simply shrugged it off, insisting that such a thing had never happened to him. He adamantly stated that he would never put on a dress. Back then, most folks brushed off Kat's words as some wild conspiracy theory. Fast forward to today, and people are revisiting his words, saying there might be some truth to what he was throwing out there. So, during Kat's recent appearance on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe asked him about Dave Chappelle walking away from a massive $50 million deal shortly before he revealed the whole dress incident. And you won't believe what Cat dropped. Turns out, he had to pass up on some fat contracts too, all because they came with strings attached. I've had to turn down $50 million four times, just to protect my integrity in that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? Cause P. Diddy be wanting the body and you gotta tell him no. You gotta tell him no. I did see. I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely. But Cat didn't stop there. He also claimed that Martin Lawrence tried to put him in his first dress for Big Mama's house. And when Cat shut that down, Brandon T. Jackson swooped in and took the role. Circling back to Terrence Howard, reports recently surfaced suggesting that the whole dress controversy was one of the main reasons he turned his back on Hollywood. When asked about the rumors that he was axed from Iron Man 2 due to anger issues and being uncooperative on set, Terrence shut that down real quick. He made it crystal clear that he wasn't about to let Hollywood bosses dictate what a black man should look like on screen. According to Terrence, black actors are being pressured to adopt a more effeminate vibe if they want to make it big in the industry. He said, "My daddy taught me never to take the vertebrae out of your back or the base out of your throat. I ain't raising sheep. I raise men. Stay a man." He pointed out that in today's world, the more successful men are, the more they're expected to embrace an androgynous image. In another recent interview with Revolt, Terrence doubled down on his stance. He expressed his belief that Hollywood has a problem with strong black men, suggesting that only white men are allowed to be both strong and non-threatening simultaneously. Terrence felt that black men are often demonized and constrained into fitting certain narratives, while white men are given more leeway to express their masculinity. He emphasized, "I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit into someone's story." Terrence advocated for expanding storytelling to allow men to be men while simultaneously appreciating women's beauty. He urged for a shift in Hollywood's approach to masculinity, encouraging a more inclusive and authentic portrayal of diverse identities. In any case, Terrence has also been making headlines following his defense of Taraji P. Henson after she allegedly got blackballed by Oprah for speaking out about the pay inequality in Hollywood and the awful treatment she received while filming The Color Purple. So it seems Terrence and Oprah have been quietly beefing for years. Rumor has it that Terrence spilled the beans about their secret relationship, and Oprah wasn't too pleased about it. Some say Oprah even put the brakes on Terrence's career after that. Now, Terrence thinks Oprah's pulling the same move on Taraji. There's word from a source saying Oprah and the folks behind The Color Purple were thinking of giving Taraji the cold shoulder. They blamed her for the movie's flop, saying her rants messed things up at the box office. But Terrence isn't standing for it. He's speaking up to defend Taraji against these accusations. A close source to Terrence spilled the tea, saying he was furious when he heard about this because he knew Oprah was going to blackball Taraji. He's not having it. He wants Oprah to back off from blacklisting Taraji, or he's gonna spill the beans. And let me tell you, folks were shaken when they heard this because Terrence and Oprah were rumored to have a little thing going back in 2013 when they both starred in The Butler. Terrence even went as far as talking about how much he enjoys kissing Oprah's lips and that he loved all of their intimate moments together. He said, "No, what me and Oprah shared, we looked into each other's eyes and there was, I saw the little girl in her. I didn't see, the veneer of Oprah that everybody else has lifted her to. And that's the problem. Even we do that with a lot of celebrities. We forget that they're human beings, And it's been a long time since someone had looked at her like a woman because everybody, and amen, you put that on her. Amen, no, she put that on me. Did she? She opened up and showed me the woman Oprah, and not the mystique Oprah. And it was the most beautiful thing I've done in my life." At the time, this allegedly made Oprah super mad because she tries to keep her image as clean as possible. Ever since then, Oprah and Terrence have been really salty with each other. A lot of people are now speculating that Terrence probably got a lot of tea about Oprah from the time that they used to be a thing, and he won't think twice about revealing it if she doesn't call off her plans of blackballing Taraji. But you know what's wild? This isn't the first time he's had to go toe-to-toe with Oprah. Back when Monique was speaking up about Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels blacklisting her, Terrence had her back. What's even more surprising is that he was still on the TV show Empire, which Lee Daniels was running, so he was sticking his neck out for Monique, even though it could have put his job at risk. He basically said Monique had every right to call out Oprah, Tyler, and Lee Daniels for how they treated her, and he was fully behind her. In any case, Howard still has some people in Hollywood who are on his side.
She's got an Oscar from it, and she's still an amazing actor and amazing comedian.
So no hard feelings?
No, it shouldn't be.
A good example is 50 Cent, who has taken it upon himself to make things right, financially, for Terrence Howard, after the acclaimed actor made headlines for revealing his pittance of a salary for the Oscar-winning film Hustle and Flow. Back in November, Howard claimed he'd been paid a meager $12,000 for the role, for which he was nominated for Best Actor at the 78th Academy Awards and also rapped on the soundtrack.
I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow.
Howard also revealed that he'd not received royalties from the songs he'd sung. What Paramount did, instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing the songs, they put performed by Jay. Well, they own Jay, he said to Reg News Channel 3, referring to his character in the film. So now I've got to sue Paramount or send them a letter to say, hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties. 50 Cent, however, caught wind of Howard's interview and took to X on February 15th to vow to make things right. This ish hurt my stomach to hear Terrence Howard say this. F them, the G-Unit head honcho said. I need the best actors and I'm gonna pay them. Taraji P. Henson, you cool with Mary J. Blige, ask her. She got a big effing bag. GLG Greenlight Gang. My young boys Michael Rainey Jr., Mackay Curtis, Lil Meech are all making millions. This isn't the first time that 50 Cent has gone to bat for Terrence Howard in his ongoing quest to get the money he's owed. Late last year, Howard sued the Creative Arts Agency for breach of fiduciary duty, saying the talent agency allegedly asked him to take a lower salary for the popular show. Howard played music mogul Lucius Lyon for 6 seasons of the Fox drama, produced by Imagine Entertainment and what was then 20th Century Fox TV. CAA also represented the producers of Empire in a package deal that was lucrative for the agency, he said. As such, Howard's legal strategy asserts, the agency did not act in his best interest by pushing for a higher salary because it had a profit participation stake through its package. So CAA had an interest in maximizing the total profit that 20th TV realized on the series. Since 2020, the practice of talent agencies receiving packaging fees on TV series was essentially banned after the Writers Guild of America waged a nearly 2-year battle against the Hollywood's largest agencies to reform the decades-old practice. The complaint asserted that Howard was mostly in the dark about CAA's packaging fee. It notes that Howard was paid less than Mad Men star Jon Hamm and Kevin Spacey during his run on Netflix's House of Cards, despite the fact that Empire had significantly more viewership than those shows. The complaint also faults CAA for representing Empire co-creators and executive producers Lee Daniels and Danny Strong, as well as Howard and other actors on the series. The complaint does not cite a specific dollar amount for damages, but it does seek compensatory and punitive damages. Not only did it become abundantly clear that his agents led him on a path to rely on information that was misleading, he discovered that this was the result of the fact that CAA was not acting in his best interest, but in interest of their own financial benefit, as well as the interest of the production companies and the producers Daniels and Strong, the complaint stated. Under normal circumstances, had CAA not been the packaging agent, and had CAA not been concurrently representing the production companies, where their sole financial interest would have been the 10% fee from the compensation received by Howard, they would have most certainly fought for Howard in a manner that most producers are accustomed to seeing CAA agents engage in. Meanwhile, 50 Cent, who has signed a production deal with Fox, commented on the lawsuit on social media on January 4th, offering to use his influence in the industry to help Howard. Damn, Terrence Howard, call my phone. I will get you the money they was supposed to get for you, he wrote on Instagram. I'm not playing no games over here. The two worked together in 2005 on 50's acting debut, the semi-autobiographical Get Rich or Die Tryin', named after the rapper's blockbuster debut album. In any case, Terrence Howard has solidified his status as a true staple in Black Hollywood over the span of 3 decades. Throughout his illustrious career, he has brought to life unforgettable characters such as Quentin Spivey in The Best Man, Cameron Thayer in Crash, Jay in Hustle and Flow, James Rhodes in Iron Man, and the iconic Lucius Lyon in Empire. Along this remarkable journey, the veteran actor not only earned high praise from critics, but also received top industry honors, including Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations. However, it was during the final season of Empire in 2019 that Howard first made a surprising retirement announcement, citing the extensive accomplishments on his impressive resume as the catalyst. While he didn't follow through with his decision at that time, 3 years later, in 2022, he revisited the statement to assure his devoted fans that this time, it was for real. This is the end for me. I don't know if it's the end for the rest of them, he said, referring to his Best Man castmates. I retired 2 years ago, for the most part. I was done. I asked Sidney Poitier 10 years ago, does he want to do any more work? And he said, "Why would I spend my last 10 years doing an impersonation of myself?" And that's what I've gotten to. I've gotten to the point where now I've given the very best that I have as an actor. Now I'm enjoying watching other new talent come around, and I don't want to do an impersonation of myself. As he continued, he reiterated his positive thoughts regarding the new school of entertainers, even going as far as applauding them for doing things he couldn't do. "Yes, there's some better actors out there that can do things that I was never able to do," he said. "So I want to applaud them. I want to be excited about what they do." In any case, if Terrence Howard's claims are true, Hollywood is indeed a sinister place, and people should consider distancing themselves from it. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.